This guy would quit texting me.
Who, JB?
Paul.
Really, this guy? You know you're busy.
Is like they're blowing me up. Come on, man.
Hey, be careful what you ask for.
Glasses, yes. Glasses.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I'd love to talk about him.
Can you? You want to? You don't like them? What about
No.
the spinach? You like the spinach?
The chin spinach?
The
Is
chin
that what you call
spinach? The two-tone chin spinach?
it? Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna split it pretty soon. I'm gonna go. It's gonna be
Let's roll.
killer. All right. Welcome to 6 Feet Under, a WWE and Fanatics original production. Take it, kid.
I'm excited about today. All right, y'all. Today's guest is the hugger turned role model turned menace, and the menace who could literally juggle her championships while cutting a promo. I don't know if many people know that. She's the first Grand Slam champion, locker room leader, and a future Hall of Famer. From the basketball courts of San Jose to the grandest stage of them all, please welcome someone I love, my kids love, and people all around the world absolutely adore. Bayley. Thank you for
Or
coming.
is it-
Or is it?
Or is it Davina Rose?
Ooh, that's so weird for you to hear you say that. Yeah, it's a little bit of combo of everything, I guess.
Davina
that's
Rose.
old school.
I like that.
Thanks for that intro.
You're welcome.
That's so nice.
Why
I
don't you
always
ever
get nervous
introduce me
about
like
intros.
that? That's pretty
Well,
impressive.
It
I
was,
mean-
yeah. You know.
I was like,
you
are
know-
you on the right show?
I had to show him your juggling workouts. This is
Yeah.
totally just off, not where we
Yeah.
planned on going, but I just showed you her juggling workouts last night. How do you do that? Like my mom actually taught us all how to juggle. Like my brother can do a basketball, football. I never could really do it, and none of us could do it while working out. How do you?
I don't know.
do
'Cause I'm
that?
a weirdo. Well, you had juggling balls out in the kitchen.
Because I want you to show me.
Oh, okay. I was.
Oh wait, you brought them.
Oh, yeah.
Why do you
I
have
was
balls
like,
in your
I
hands,
said,
sir?
why are these here? Megan's. I don't know. I think they're the
You
kids.
didn't know Tager was a big hacky sack guy.
I learned how to do that. I worked at a pet store, and it was so slow.
You
like,
juggle kittens?
Yes, no, a couple bird feeders. No, it was just like slow, and we weren't very busy all the time. And so me and my coworker would sit across at the cashiers, and he was juggling and ended up teaching me. We had time for everything. Learned how to juggle there, and I don't know why I started doing it in videos. I think because I get bored in between sets,
yeah.
and so I just started making stuff for fun.
That is so impressive.
You want me to do it?
Of course I want you to
Okay.
do
Okay.
it. I'm going to put
Yes,
you on
sir.
the spot.
I mean, we
Absolutely.
should go like
Oh, my bad. I can't even juggle one.
Jeez,
There you go.
dropping the ball.
Silly, so silly.
Those are little guys, huh?
Here we go.
But like she goes fast and then slow.
Oh, see that? Caught it.
Hey,
So
hey,
you want me to
hey.
do the whole podcast like this?
Yes.
Oh,
So
let's
my
see
name
how
is
long.
Davina
Okay.
Rose.
Davina
I've been
Rose, the
wrestling
juggling queen.
Yes.
Hey.
Wow.
yeah.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hidden
That's
talents. I love it. Speaking of Davina Rose and Pet Store, didn't you get? Is that how you came up with the name?
Oh yeah,
Davina?
yeah. So because my the same coworker, he was talking about his mom, and for some reason he said his my mom's name is Davina, so blah 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 blah. And I was like, oh, that's beautiful. So my trainer, the guy who trained me, Jason Styles, hated every name I was throwing out there, and he was like, nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not it. And I knew I wanted Rose because Rose is my middle name, so I wanted it somewhere in there. He hated everything, and so I texted him when my coworker said his mom's name, and I said, hey, what about Davina Rose? And Jason texted me back like, oh, that's the first woman he was ever with. That was her name. So he's like, I love that name. That sounds beautiful. So that's how I got his
that's
permission. But yeah, I think it flowed really well together. So I was super happy with my first name, I guess.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Rose.
So the pet store, gave me a lot, I guess.
mean, seriously.
Shout out to Anjan's. It sadly shut down a year ago, but you know what?
Dang.
Gave me a lot of
Juggling,
good
wrestling
memories.
names.
Yeah.
But I hear now that it's like it's a national monument.
Yeah.
Is it-
Yep. It's my
Bayley-
name's plastered
Bayley
all over
worked
it.
here.
Yeah.
Davina
big
Rose
deal.
worked
Lot
here.
of-
Davina Rose.
When people go visit the Bay Area, they go there and they're like, wow, yeah, she used to
Here's
work
a
here.
hot
This is
spot.
where she learned how to juggle.
Wow.
Crazy. Yeah.
Amazing.
wanna
Davina
go.
Rose. I mean, it kind of sounds like a stripper name, right?
Wow. Good Lord.
I'm just what?
Welcome to my life. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Well, we're performers, you
Dude,
know.
PG.
We are performers.
Yeah,
It's just a different kind of performance.
No, you know how much Kaya loves her? We can't be like,
Yeah.
no.
Well, unless you've told her, I don't think she knows what a stripper is yet.
She probably has heard it from school.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Anyway.
Okay, you digressed real fast.
By
By the
from
way,
That's what I
juggling to
bring.
strippers.
That's what I bring.
juggling to strippers.
I like it. It's fun already.
This message is sponsored by Raycon. Keep your ears open and your holiday playlist rolling with Raycon's Essential Open Earbuds. These open earbuds let you stay connected to your surroundings while enjoying your favorite music, podcasts, or calls. Perfect for a jog, commute, or just kicking back.
Raycon's Essential Open Earbuds keep your ears open while still delivering crystal clear sound. They sit just outside your ear canal so you can stay tuned into traffic, co-workers, or whatever's happening around you without losing out on music or podcast quality.
Lightweight and all-day comfortable. They'll never feel bulky, and the secure fit means that they stay put whether at the gym, on a walk, or grinding through my to-do list.
And here's the kicker. Raycon delivers the same premium audio quality as the big brands, but half the price. Add in over 3 million happy customers and 30-day happiness guarantee, and there's zero reason to overpay.
A couple of features that make them my everyday go-to. Open ear design. Breathable fit delivers comfort, safety, and immersive audio while keeping you aware. Multi-angular hook. Rotating ear hook ensures a secure, personalized fit for any activity.
Lightweight. Ultra light with a flexible ear hook that adapts to any ear for all-day comfort and awareness. Multi-point connection. Connect to multiple devices and switch seamlessly without hassle.
And 36 hours of battery life. I use this product, and you should too.
Raycon Audio products are up to 30% off site-wide. From everyday essentials to the latest releases, it's the perfect time to upgrade your sound or get ahead on gifting. Go to buyraycon.com/6feetopen to save on Raycon Audio products site-wide. Bay Area, that's where you grew up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, San Jose.
So what was your child, like I know you're obsessed with wrestling. You've said that multiple
bit,
times,
yeah.
just a little bit.
Yeah.
Is it true that you wore wrestling shirts to basketball and
Yeah. Yeah.
What's-
My
what-
coach. So
what's wrong with him?
Wait, is a woman. That's
her.
why. Yeah,
Oops.
she was very strict on me, but I always, give her credit because I think she really like drilled discipline and everything into me like at that young age. But we, you wear the track suits when you
Yeah.
go to away games and everything. So I think she thought that the wrestling shirts just didn't look professional. So when we go out on the bus, I had, my track suit on, had a wrestling shirt under it because it was just like my thing. And I felt like it was good luck. And I was just, it was like, that was me. I wore wrestling t-shirts to
Right.
school all the time. And one of the I think it had to be like our 4th away game or something. And she's like, you cannot be wearing those. And I didn't know why, but she's like, it just doesn't look professional. Could you just wear like a plain t-shirt under? But I used to get in trouble for like drawing the Hardy Boys logo and stuff on my papers. My teachers thought it was like gang symbols and stuff. It was just so bad. Like I got in trouble for a lot of that stuff. And wrestling was different back then, where it wasn't as family friendly.
Yeah.
So I think it was kind of like a little looked down upon if like you didn't really understand it. So I got in trouble and I had to stop.
Okay,
But
well.
it's funny now that I'm doing this because, I still friends with my coach.
I was about to say, you
on,
should send her some shirts.
Yeah. Here's you want to wear this for one of your games,
there you go.
Yeah.
Give it to your
Bring you
kids.
good luck right here. I was a trendsetter before you even knew it was cool.
Yeah.
So you've been a wrestling fan as long as you can remember. I know I was.
Yeah. Since I want to say I started when I was 10, and my dad was watching it with my brother in the living room, and I was just passing by, and I saw Macho Man, and that just stopped me in my tracks. And I believe it was WCW because I didn't understand the difference between WCW and WWE at the time, and so I remember he just stopped me in my tracks, and I just started watching him. So he was my first favorite wrestler, and. But then, I got into WWE after that, so I didn't even see him or even think about it. Why isn't he here?
Right.
But yeah, I became obsessed. It was the Attitude Era in the late 90s and just all through 12, 13, 14, bad obsessed. Not bad, creepy, but well, maybe a little bit. Who knows? My room was covered in it, and my family took me. Thankfully my mom and my dad were really cool, would like take me to autograph signings. My mom didn't really want me to do it. I think she was like hoping that maybe I'd grow out of it. Now she's, a huge fan.
course.
She's been to everything. And now it's great. But she was, you get a little worried about it for like a woman. It was different,
Right.
Like a woman
Yeah.
joining wrestling.
Yeah.
It was scary.
Yeah, even when I started, I mean, some good friends were like, why are you getting into that? Da, da, da,
Yeah.
da. Then they quickly become fans and want tickets and,
Yeah, of course.
all the things. But
Yeah.
yeah, because I mean, when you're watching TV and there's a hand being birthed and there's, a family that's like,
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was so bad.
it was wild.
Yeah. It went through its rough patches of,
Yeah.
Jello matches and bra and panty matches. And like, if my mom sees any of that, she's just, this is what you
This
want
is
to
what
do. I'm
you're
like,
gonna
no,
do.
there's other, like,
yeah.
watch these ones.
Yeah.
It was a roller coaster.
Yeah.
I've been recently browbeaten for trying to talk Kaya out of getting into wanting to wrestle.
Browbeaten.
Yes.
Well, she's wanted to do it. Yeah, exactly. She's wanted to do it. Well, I mean, she's
Yeah.
wanted to do it forever. She's
Yeah.
obsessed with it.
Yeah.
She is obsessed with it.
I love that she's still,
Like, we
Yeah.
thought she would kind of grow out of it and
Yeah.
didn't push that, but she has not.
which is awesome, because it's not like you two are active, or you guys are there, once in a while and be doing appearances
Right.
and stuff, but it's not like you're active where she's like watching you guys wanting
No.
to do it, and that's why she wants to do it. It's like,
it is nuts now. Like when we sit on a Monday or a Friday night and we're sitting down watching it, it is like something will happen. Like if something doesn't go right or something looks,
yeah, She can
she'll,
tell.
She'll lean up, and she'll go, "Hey, Dad."
oh my God.
When he did that, do you think maybe he should have?
You're like, oh, no.
She's calling spots.
Oh,
and,
my
and,
God.
And I'm like what? Why?
you
Where
know
are
that?
you? Why do you know that already?
Yeah.
Right? And we use wrestling, like going to the PC with us when we go do LFG or
Yeah, she
going
has to
to
earn
live
those trips.
events and pay per views. We kind of use that sometimes as a reward now.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I mean, that is what she. I mean, she loves being there and being backstage, and when she sees you guys, it's just
Yeah.
like,
And I don't know if you were the same, but at her age, even at school, like at school, she doesn't care what other people think. Like she's
Yeah.
talking wrestling, she's
Yeah.
doing God knows what.
Yes. That.
Were,
Oh, I was
Were you?
definitely, yeah, I was definitely like that. So it's crazy when I talk to people now that I haven't talked to in years. A lot of my friends, I have a group of like 5 girlfriends that I've been friends with since 6th grade, and so when they come to my shows, they're just like, this is crazy. They still think it's crazy that I'm actually doing it. But when I see people again, I had dated a guy in high school. And this is when like Matt Hardy had gotten released, and he had worked the home promotion that I ended up training at. So he was on the show. And so I got to meet, like the Hardys were like my favorite, So I got to meet him. And it was all I talked about. I was like 15 years old, like I'm already 15. Like I'm not a 10-year-old kid.
Right.
And it was all I was talking about to this guy. And I didn't even realize it. And he ended up like dumping me because he's like, dude, all you talk about is Matt Hardy. And I was like so embarrassed. Now when I think about it, it's like super embarrassing.
hey, his loss, he's probably wishing.
Yeah.
Like, I wish he talked to Matt Hardy about me now.
Yeah, so it was just all my papers, they were all about wrestling. When I like my geography class, I knew where places were because how the shows started up. Like we're in Chicago, Illinois. Like I would know, the capitals because of wrestling. So like it was, always on my mind.
do you? I mean, that's kind of I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong here because I'm a little disconnected. But do you find that more of talent in your generation now have that kind of passion? I mean, that's really my I call that old school passion.
Yeah.
Right. Because back in the day, there was a lot more people that were fans as kids, and then they worked their way up. I mean, do you find like when you're talking to, I'm not knowing anybody in particular, but I'm just saying like, do you find the same passion?
You just put her on
I think-
the spot.
No,
No.
I've had these honest conversations. I feel like with, talent and people in our locker room. So no, it's not there as much anymore. And like but it is my connection to a lot of the girls or guys or whatever. So it's like a different kind of passion. Like Sami Zayn says it perfectly. Like we're the fans who took it too far. Like we're the biggest fans that took it too far because we're actually doing it. Right. But this is one of the reasons like Mercedes and I got super close was because we were just like,
Obsessed
like we
with,
can relate to like, oh my God, you were a 10-year-old and obsessed with wrestling. So I have those relationships with, a few of the girls in the locker room. But I think Carmella was the one who really like changed my mind on, okay, you don't need to be obsessed with it like I am for me to enjoy working with you or being in the locker room with you, because as long as you are putting in the work and you become, some people truly fall in love with like Bianca. Like she truly fell in love with this. And like her and I get along great. Like we're great friends. So you don't really have to grow up obsessed with it, but like to be great or for me to have a great relationship with you. But I do find that it's like another level. I also have this conversation with Cody all the time. It's like we just have like a sickness level of like obsession, but now it's like it's not so much fandom, even though I love like being here with you guys is like it's such an honor. And being able to talk to like Ray and Randy Orton and Cena and having those relationships with them now is such an honor, but it's two different levels. Like AJ coming back, it's like a different level, It's I love that I still feel this way about it, and I love that I'm still like there's a fan in me, but also there's like the professionalism and the passion, the whole other side of that. I'm grateful that I still feel all that, but there are a few people that still. Sometimes, you could, when you're doing this for a while, it becomes such business minded. And I hate when people lose that part, because that's to me what makes it so fun and what makes it so worth it is if we still feel that way about it and still like, especially if you grew up like that.
Yeah.
Retain part of your fandom, I guess.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if you felt like that throughout your career, but I still very much have that. And I feel like it helps me.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I have to admit, like, through the a lot of the heart of my run, you're so like I was so in tune. One trying at the time before the Attitude Era when we were really struggling. I mean, you're just so in tune with trying to turn things around, and then things turn around, and then you're having this incredible success. The business as a whole.
Yeah.
Like. I think I lost part of my. I didn't, because I wasn't watching the other guys. I wasn't watching any. It was just I was so dialed in.
Yeah.
But it's really cool to hear that you can retain that, because that is kind of what sparks everything that pushes us to go and do all the crappy little shows.
Totally.
And it's that love of the game.
And I want to say thank you, because, I mean, yes, you're the role model, but literally you are a role model, because we'll point things out to Kaya, like positive things, no matter where we're at or what environment we're in. And we talk often, no matter what show we're at, you're always there. You're there until the end of the show, which blows my mind that that's not the norm at all anymore.
Get me started on that.
Right? Like, no, please, because seriously, that blows my mind too. I'm like, how do you not stay? Very few people do.
Yeah.
And you're always back there. You're always watching the show, whether you're on it, whether you're not, whether it's even whatever. You're always there and present and watching. And we point that out to Kai. I'm like, look, she's, so thank you for that. But
that just blows my mind. Like when people, and I can't even imagine what it was like, but when I first got on the road, it was, all the live events is like, okay, you always watch, like Cena watched everything, Roman watched everything. And now, these last few years, Seth is always at that front monitor. So if you're at the live events, you come back through the curtain, there's that monitor right there. And then you have talent viewing. I always liked watching at that front monitor because you can hear the crowd better.
Right.
And I also get to, when people come back, they ask Seth, like, oh, what'd you think? And then I could hear what he's saying to them. So like, okay, I'm learning too.
Wow.
But then, lately there's some people who just leave, and it's like, then Seth comes back from the main event and nobody's there. Yes. Like, that is like, what? You just asked for his advice and now nobody's here? That drives me crazy. Or if some people aren't on the show, they just take off, and I just can't. I don't know.
It's hard
I've
to
had
fathom,
This,
yeah.
I have this conversation with some people, and I just don't get it. But it's different, and I don't know what's missing, or if there's something like. So, for me, it's like what you're saying. You tell Kai is like, I'm trying to lead by example. So like, I would hope that some of the girls see that I'm still here, or I'm not booked, but I'm in Gorilla, or I'm not booked, but I'm watching the girls' matches no matter what. And that would be like, oh, maybe I should stay too. Some may think like that, some may not, but.
I mean, look, I've never been a main event person, but I couldn't imagine being on the main event and coming back, and that's like all the pizza being eaten on those tours when y'all would finally get on the bus.
And it's all gone, and everyone's gone.
Like none of the top guys had pizza. I'm like, guys, like they just sold out that house for us and they don't even have a slice of pepperoni.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I remember there was a
Yeah.
time period somewhere, it was in the, I don't know, maybe the mid 2000s, and we were, I don't know if it was, I think it may have been Japan, somewhere we came back, and I came back through the curtain after my match, and it was crazy. There was, I think, Cena, Flair, and then two other guys, and then no one else was like, everyone that actually should have been there at the monitor was
gone.
They were all in catering, or they were already on the bus. And it was all these guys that had already established themselves and made their, and I just took a moment. I took a moment, and I was like, and then I didn't have to say a word.
Yeah.
Like they all looked at me and just held their hands up, and it was just like.
Would you guys say anything to
Yeah,
them? Okay, so you have to have those conversations.
Yeah,
Okay.
there was a lot.
See, like I don't know. I mean, I would never like want to say anything to the guys' locker room or anything like that. That's not my place. But I just, it's also like when you're in a show in Japan, don't you want to just like experience that, like the crowd itself? It's so
cool.
Yeah, it's so cool. Like I don't know. It's one thing if there's a long drive. Like sometimes, you have a Sunday show and you have 5 hours to drive to Raw. That's okay. But also you could go up to the main event and be like, hey, just so is it cool if I take off at intermission or whatever, like I understand that. But yet, like those things, I just don't understand. Like what are you going to learn on the bus? Nothing.
It was kind of a head scratcher,
Yeah.
and it's not even a thing.
Or
a lot of people
thrower.
are old school. You're an old head. You're an old school guy. It's always about respect and all this. And part of that, but again, it's more about learning. Like, if you're not on top, that's what you should be striving to.
Yeah.
And I want to watch who's on top. I want to see what they're doing, and figure out what I'm not doing. It's simple, and there's no better place where else are you gonna sit there and learn? Like, oh, okay. And again, to your credit, to setting close enough that you can hear, you can watch it on the monitor so you can see everything perfectly, but also be able to. That's just genius, really.
Yeah,
because you can't get the kind of feedback and learn things, and it's just always. And then have to hear people like get online or whatever and bitching about not getting. I'm not getting booked the right way. I'm not doing this. And then, what really pisses me off is when I go and people will come and say, hey, you got anything for me? And then I take the time out of my, not that I'm that busy, but like I've obviously watched and you're asking me for feedback. And then I give you my feedback and I give you my time and then not apply, not even.
Is that why you started telling people you're not going to listen anyway?
There's a few
because I've heard that a few times.
There's a few people because they'll come up and it's almost kind of like it's almost like just I want to be seen asking.
To the Undertaker.
It's just lip service, right?
Are you saying like they don't apply it and then
they don't apply it?
Okay.
Yeah. Why ask me if you're not going to apply it? It may not be the right advice for you. That's what a lot of people they don't understand. Like I could tell you 8 different things as a suggestion, and somebody else might give you 8. Like I may give you this, and Stone Cold may give you this, and they may be completely
You're getting worked
opposite.
up right now. You're literally
what your
getting worked
job
up.
is to figure
literally
out
getting hot.
what
hard not to.
You're literally getting so worked up and hot about this right now.
Am I?
It's passion.
But it is
Passion.
it's passion. But those are the things you have to be able to figure those things out.
Right.
And you're not going to figure them out if you don't try them.
Yeah.
Right.
Totally.
Like I hate telling people the same thing over and over and over again, and you don't apply it. Like don't waste my time.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I'm telling you what worked for me. It may not work for you, but whatever you're doing, maybe it ain't working anyway. So why not try? But or just don't bother me.
Yeah.
And I don't look at it as bothering me. I want to help. That's what I do, right?
We kind of learned, like, at least I learned throughout NXT. We have all these coaches, right? And I don't know, I'm sure you guys have seen this too now, but if you ask every single coach, like you said, they all may give you different things. Okay, Shawn Michaels wants this from me, but Matt Bloom wants this from me. But so, like, you have to learn who you want to get your, advice from, or else you're just trying to please 20 different people, and like they could be like, oh, you're not listening to me. Yeah, but Sean told me to do this. So like you have to learn that too. But it's like, if you're doing it just to look good in front of you, like, oh, Taker's gonna go, hey Michelle, guess who asked me for advice? Like, I'm gonna keep watching. Like, it's just a game. Just don't do it.
Yeah, it's a game, and don't waste everybody's time.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people don't understand. Just kind of going back to your other point there, how difficult it is to process all that information. Yeah. Right? It's just, again, what worked for me may not work for you. What worked for Michelle, and she's giving you
was not much.
Well, you give yourself way too much credit.
Oh.
You are one of the most like memorable acts ever. Like, I don't know why you are like so. If coming from a woman in our division, we always talk about you guys. Just so you know, you are so cool.
I'm sure I'm
so many people
about.
wanted to work with you. Talk with like Liv too long ago that had all these ideas. Like, you're very memorable.
Thank you.
Yeah. If people are remembering you for
that's sweet.
silly things, you're good.
No. I may be new to this literally hit me just the other day. So we talked to Davina Rose. Did you use Bayley because Bay Area? I mean, am I that slow on this?
No. Lyra makes fun of me for this all the time, so she's going to love this. But, I didn't choose Bayley. I remember like in NXT, you have to give a list of your names. And so I wanted to use a unisex name because I felt nobody was really doing that. So I gave like a list of unisex names, and I don't believe I chose Bayley. I don't think that was on there. But when they gave me my names back, it was like a list of 3 different names. I forget the other. Oh, one was Bayley, and then one was Davia, like no N, not Davina, just Davia. And I was like, that's not even a name. Like, what is that? Kind of name. They were like trying to help me out and get me close to my indie name. And the other one was Bayley, and I was like, I don't really care for all of the Rob Naylor, who used to work with us. He was like Dusty's right hand man. And I said, I don't really care for these. Can I send in another list? He's like, well, I'm not supposed to tell you, but they want to put you on TV this week. So you need to choose one of these, or else they're just you have to wait. And I was like, okay, I'll choose Bayley. Yeah.
I like Bayley.
Yeah, but they spelled it the B-A-I. And so I said, can I just B-A-Y because I'm from the Bay Area.
Okay.
So like
That's
Lyra
creative.
makes fun of me. I don't know why she thinks that's so funny. I'm just like, I don't.
It's just like nod to your roots.
Yeah, yeah. It kind of helps. When we're there, they
funny.
can make little shirts out of it and stuff.
You're like, I like all 3 names, sir.
Yeah.
Whichever one you want.
Whatever
to use.
you want. Whatever
I don't
Triple
care.
H says, I'll do it.
It's perfect.
That happened with my music. I hated like my hugger music. I was like, oh, this is a little weird. They said, well, Hunter likes it. I was like, cool, yeah, let's do it.
I love this.
God,
the
sounds
more I
better.
listen
Yeah,
to
it's
it,
great.
it really is good.
I remember being at, speaking of NXT, totally random, and I know you don't remember, but we went down to Full Sail because Gunnar was in school there and we watched a show.
Uh-huh.
I don't recall who you were wrestling, but I remember not talking much because I was literally in awe of like what y'all were doing and just like the athleticism, the time of the match. I was just like, oh my gosh. But there was one point in the match, and it was the first night you did it because I asked you about it, but you had a girl in the corner and you went to back off, and that's when you just like high-fived her. Like she had her hands like this, and you're just like, I was like, that was the greatest thing I've ever seen in quite some time.
That's
and then you started just doing, that was random.
Yeah,
that was totally random.
Stuff really sticks with me because like once it's the same thing with like the hugging is like once somebody points it out, like I would start doing that, then I would throw it into matches or like
good.
I had a girl in the hold and they'd start chanting and I'd start like slapping her hand, like little stuff like that really stuck with me. That made me remember the first time I met you in NXT. You were at a house show or you came to one of our live events, and me and Sasha had a match. And you like afterwards we were talking to you and asking if you had anything, and you had told us this had to be like 2014, and you said that was one of the best Divas matches I've ever seen, and we were like on cloud 9 for like months after that. That was so we just
I
just
used
the
the
fact
word
that
diva?
you were, because it was 2014. It was still Diva.
It was definitely Divas.
Yeah. And yeah, that was, I remember like I posted about it, like put it on my Facebook and all this stuff. You know, I was super like, The Undertaker just said we had the best Divas match he's seen in a long time. So
I
like,
think you called. Was it wasn't Full Sail that night? Because I remember you
think
talking to
so.
them and going up to whoever.
maybe it was Full
it was.
It
Sail.
might have been that one because I
Maybe.
remember you.
214. Yeah, I think it may have been. Yeah,
It was really
probably.
good though.
That was great. And I
y'all-
probably was wrestling her because we always worked together,
Yeah.
you know. Yeah, that was
Y'all have had some
crazy time.
bangers and matches, that's for sure.
Bangers.
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 That's what Seamus calls it. you know.
Bangers, yes.
Yeah,
That's how, I
banger.
don't know. Yeah, bangers.
It's a shamey word now.
Y'all two actually have it in common. Going back to basketball.
Oh,
Was that like,
that was
she
fun.
like eyeballed you like, let's
yeah,
go.
yeah. Yo,
I
you guys
mean-
got a court here?
His
No.
daughter has beat him in a few games, of course.
Ooh.
It
It must be the finger.
It is the finger. It's
definitely
hard to.
there's a,
Yeah.
yes.
Like I can't get any
I think it was
rotation on the ball
pre-finger, but-
anymore. I can't palm the ball anymore.
Okay. Is that your
How-
shooting hand?
It is my shooting
Oh,
hand.
yeah. I see. I see.
It's
the
hard to throw
excuses.
football, everything. It just
Everything. Screwed it up.
everything that I want to do with that hand is
Was it the coolest thing
Basketball.
ever doing the celebrity?
Oh my gosh.
Was that like,
That was a
Not real
dream
life?
come true. I felt like I wasn't. I didn't stop smiling for like 48 hours. I just couldn't believe that I finally got to do that. First, I wish my coach Jerry Rice. You should have put me in there more, dude. What
Seriously.
the heck, man?
Golly.
I was so excited. He came up to me afterwards and he's like, "Hey, I just want to say sorry. Like everybody wanted to play. Like it was hard." I'm all, "Yeah, but you're the coach.
You're the coach."
I wanted to play too. Like
Yeah.
come on, man." And all I wanted. There's one point in the game where I was shooting over Baron Davis. He definitely let me shoot. He was letting me go, and I missed it. I'm like, man, that would have been as big as WrestleMania. That's so
Yeah.
cool. It was so much fun.
That's
though.
pretty
That
cool,
looks
man.
fun.
I
We
wish I
watched.
could do it again. And they like took care of my family. They flew. They had like 2 tickets. Like, oh, we'll fly you from wherever you need. And I was like, oh, I'm actually already going to be there. Can I fly my sister and my brother-in-law? So like they flew my sister and my brother-in-law. They put them up in a
Dang.
hotel. They shuttled them everywhere and just were super sweet to them the whole weekend. And they gave me tickets for the actual All-Star game. So I flew back to Washington to do NXT that after the day I played, then flew all the way back because I told my nephew I would take him to the All-Star
Oh my
game.
gosh.
wow.
Yeah, so and our seats were they were awesome. And
Oh, look.
Steph Curry's wife was sitting behind us. So he came back and dude, it was like the best. It was the best weekend. It was so cool.
Best auntie ever.
Yeah.
yeah, how you going to
I
top
know.
that one?
Yeah, no, I can't. No, they don't.
that's pretty cool.
They like wrestling, but that was
was-
probably the best.
Dude, that's
It was so fun.
That's next level. I mean, we never thought about being able to be in those positions.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But let's see, because oddly enough, I saw a picture of you, Naya, Jade, and Lash.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? Like
I
the
just
four of
sent
y'all.
it
the
to
cute-
Naya, yeah.
Did you? Like I just saw
Yeah.
that pop up. I'm like, dang, look at that. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
yeah,
funny 'cause
I'd put.
I look like the least intimidating one there, and it was like, who would you pick for your team or something like that,
Yeah.
right? And I said, they ain't picking me. It's so
What is it?
funny.
What is
That
this?
they all played basketball, but they had like the four just squares of their
their,
pictures.
like,
Oh,
talking
from
about
when you
yeah,
played
from the
from
basketball.
when they played
Oh.
back in high school.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But
That's
that
a
was
pretty solid squad.
That was like my first love, like my first
Right.
love for. I played that before I've even found wrestling, so that was something that was, and I still play, for fun or like some fun cardio. But that literally taught me discipline. It taught me
Yeah.
team, like how to be part of a team. I think that really helped me in wrestling. I think that's why I'm so like involved with the locker room and the girls and stuff, because that's just how I grew up, being a part of a team. And that it was, I do miss playing on a team. Like there was
Yeah.
a point where I went to community college and I remember the coach wanted me to play. He's like, yeah, I went to one of your games, but senior year I played for like half the season. I had lost a friend in high school and I was like super sad about it. So like I didn't go to our holiday training. And so he punished me for that and like sat me the rest of the season. But the coach in college was like, yeah, I saw you play. I said, no, you didn't. I sat the whole, you didn't see me play. Like, you're lying. And it was because the team was terrible. So,
they need help.
but I told him, I'm like, honestly, I'm going to start training. I want to be a pro wrestler. Like I'm about to start training and I know I wouldn't, my heart just wouldn't be in it. Like I'm so focused on wrestling right now. So I didn't play, but like part of me wonders where I would be or, what
Yeah.
kind of, not that I was going to go professional, But it just added so much to my life. I think I still have friends that I played with. So
Dang.
Yeah. That's what happened to me too. Like I was in college when the wrestling thing presented itself
yeah,
to
but
me.
you played in college.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
But he
Could have
quit.
went pro. Could have went pro.
I had a tryout in Europe. If that was kind of the going into my senior year, that was kind of that's how the whole wrestling thing came about. Was my coach had said, "Hey, you're getting some inquiries from some teams in Europe, and the feedback is they want you to get bigger and stronger for the style that they play there."
Oh, wow.
So I really between my junior and senior year, I really started lifting and trying to get stronger and that put me in. So this gym that I'm training at during the summer, I meet this guy and he's about to go into a wrestling school.
Whoa.
And he's like, "Hey man, you ought to do this wrestling thing with me." And I was like, "Nah, I think I'm going to try and do some basketball overseas." Every day I'd come in, it was the same thing. He would hit me up. He was like, "Hey, let's do this thing, man." Well, and I was a huge fan growing up of wrestling. Yeah, I was just, I was obsessed with it. And when I got into team sports, I'd moved away from it and I wasn't, so I kind of start catching up to, the product. And I'm like, the first thing that I noticed is like all the really big guys are really big guys and they're not athletic. And so I'm kind of thinking like, well, maybe, and then I was very practical. I always kind of could see the big picture of things. I'm like, okay, do I want to go and ride the bench in Lithuania or Yugoslavia somewhere? So I kind of started weighing it out, and then next thing you know,
Here you are.
I'm playing summer league basketball and I'm training to wrestle and it
Crazy.
just But once I got a taste of it, it was like basketball, because my whole life up to that point, it was just from age 12 to senior year in college, everything was basketball.
Yeah.
And then I got a little taste of wrestling and that was it. That's all. I was watching,
Did you keep
VHS tapes.
Oh.
We didn't have the internet. We didn't have the internet yet, so I had to find tapes. I did lob that up. I did lob it up there.
Do you a favor.
You have to appreciate the
Yes,
again, you
how
have
far?
to appreciate what you had to do to
But you were
watch
young,
Yeah.
18, 19, you started training, right?
Yeah, when I was 18.
And you're still so young. And we didn't even read off the accolades, but first Grand Slam champion.
Oh, let me get them. I'll read them.
You want to read them?
I'll read them.
Yeah,
Okay, go ahead.
no,
read
no.
them, guys.
Go ahead.
No, we're gonna.
Please, no.
Hey, you come on here. We're gonna put you over. We couldn't get anybody else.
Oh, wow.
I'm only
You still have
serious.
to live with, people,
Touche.
Oh, you took it. You got tickled again.
Four-time world champion,
Dang.
two-time women's champion, two-time women's world champion, two times WWE women's tag team champion,
Whoop, whoop.
NXT champion,
Hell yeah.
Royal Rumble winner, 2019.
19.
2024. Sorry, that was wrong. I was thinking of something I did.
2000.
1980 something.
I'm going to leave that one alone, too.
2019 Money in the Bank. First women's Triple Crown champion in WWE history.
I seriously.
Come on now. This is
Dude,
getting a
I
little
know, I'm
redundant.
so lucky.
I'm just saying. 2 times the Slammies.
Hey, those are my
Slams.
favorite. Those are.
I don't even know which ones I got. I think it was
it's on there.
something
It's
about
on
the
there.
internet or something.
It's on there.
Is it on here?
It's like
Yep.
social
it's not on
media
here.
slamming.
My
or
favorite was,
something.
do you hold the record still for, you were in the Royal Rumble for like 8 hours.
Yeah, no, Roxanne beat me this year. Damn her.
Roxanne.
Yeah, little Roxanne got it. She was in there
Dang.
longer. Yeah,
Because you were what, hour plus?
it was like an hour
7?
2 minutes or
2?
something. I think Roxanne was
was
the hour
hour
and
7?
7. Yeah,
Golly, I'd be
Damn
blown
her.
up.
she's only 23. I hate her.
Yeah, good
so
reason.
good.
I get it.
Yeah,
I never liked her.
yeah.
Yeah,
me
we don't
neither.
like her.
We don't need to talk about her.
No. I used to like her till she beat that record. Now I don't like
Yeah,
her.
yeah, yeah. Thanks.
I don't like her. What was that?
You see how I had the glasses, but I was too vain to put them on.
I know. It's okay. We all have to wear them now.
Now we can see your pretty eyes.
Why are you so happy?
Are you kidding me?
No?
Football's back.
Baby, my Seminoles are back. What about that win over Alabama?
Yeah, well, they had. Alabama's rebuilding.
Okay.
Hey, but I like these belts, man. They look good.
Thank you. I got WWE Shop and Fanatics carry all the legacy titles now.
Collect your favorite team's championship-style title and let everyone know where your loyalty stands.
You can head on over to fanatics.com to grab your collegiate and NFL legacy titles today.
Let's do it.
But for me, I'm sticking with Seminoles and Steelers. Serious question, and especially, I mean, your persona now with what you're struggling with, the internal struggles. Would have to imagine, not just in wrestling, I mean, literally in life, I feel like that's what we all are constantly in our heads about something, hearing other voices that we shouldn't worry about, whatever.
Yeah.
I can only personally imagine, as happy as you were, and I know you've gotten it a million times, for Charlotte, for Sasha, for Becky to get called up. I mean, that had to hurt.
Yeah, it was weird. It was a weird. Now when I look back at it, I feel like it. So, okay, yeah, when it did happen, it was very painful, and I thought that I had done something wrong, and I just wasn't good enough. I was like, damn, I always been just like, I don't know why I was always just right, like a latch under them. I remember Sasha texting me that night. I had no idea that they were called up. Nobody told me anything until the night that they were debuting. She texted me, and she was like, hey, just want you to know that we're all debuting tonight. Oh. Thank you so much for everything. Like, you got me here, or you helped me get to this point. And I love you so much. And I was just like, I didn't even know what to say. And I'm just sitting on my couch at home, you know? So like, it was very hard at first, but I really think that year in NXT on my own, cause like we leaned on each other, we relied on each other. Those were my girls that like, if I needed something, they would help me. And we were always working together. So now I was just there by myself, but was I the champion? I wasn't the champion yet. But I got to become my own person without them. I had nobody else to rely on. I got to that's where I believe I learned my leadership skills. And I was having these matches with girls that were having their first match ever. You know, like I taught Lacey Evans how to do a headlock takeover. You know, like I had some of the girls' first matches in NXT. So like that was something I took great pride in. And I think I just grew a lot, you know. It's like a different learning experience when you're teaching somebody. Like I'm also learning as I'm teaching people too. And when you get it was a lot of the women that didn't come from wrestling. Their questions were different than someone who was already like on the indies, you know, like Sonya Deville would ask such good questions that I never thought about. Cause I'm like, yeah, we're going to do this, and we'll do this because it's wrestling. But she'd be like, yeah, but why would I do that? Like, it just doesn't you just punched me in the stomach. Like, why would I go and do that? I was like, that's a good question. Now let me rethink it. So I was like also learning. So now when I look back at it, I'm like, that year really helped prepare me for everything and helped prepare me for like even the stage I'm in now. And I also like think they really like, we talk about, you know, all you guys paving the way for us and making it much easier for us nowadays. But like having Becky, Charlotte, and Sasha up there already really helped me because the locker room was still a little like, you know, walking on eggshells, still a little scary.
Little frosty.
Yeah,
A little
hairy,
saucy,
a little hairy.
Yeah.
Yep.
So like by the time I got there, I think that NXT girls were being accepted. So it was like, it
Good
kind
for
of
y'all.
like softened it up for me a little bit. And I had my girls there where I could feel comfortable in the locker room, along with like Natty and Tamina and Naomi. They just were the best, you know. But it was hard at first, but like now when I think about it, it was probably what was best for me. And I got to be the champion. That was when we first started touring in NXT. We started going outside of Full Sail. We went overseas. And so being able to take that championship and represent the division everywhere was something that like some of the best crowds in the world, some of my best memories ever. I think I was very grateful.
Yeah. It's kind of like when you get injured, like we've all been injured, but you think it's the worst thing in the entire world, right? But then you look back and go, oh, okay, well, that did happen for a reason. It put me in this spot, or it made me think differently, or, you know, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you find, because when I watch you work, I tend to think do you find yourself leading most of the time in a match?
Yeah, well, especially nowadays, you know. But yeah, I do. So
No, I'm even talking with the other girl, like now I don't know about Becky, but even it just to me watching and knowing the way I know, it looks like you are kind of the natural leader and you're kind of dictating pace.
Yeah,
and
maybe. And and I always tell, like, even if I work with Becky or something, I'm just like, yeah, I'm always talking. I hope you guys I'm not like trying to tell you what to do. It just helps me, you know, like it's just easier if we're always like talking. I think so. And I don't know if it's because I've watched forever or because I watch so much or whatever, but I just naturally find myself in those positions, which I like.
You do it well.
Thanks.
Well, no, that is, I mean, that's an art, because there's a lot of people, a lot of guys that were on top that couldn't lead a match.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, they could, but it wouldn't be nearly as good. But you can actually, I guess, people that are when you're really in tune with the product, you know, and you can tell, like, okay, this is who's dictating this match.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter what's called. It's the pacing and the just the ring generalship. It kind of really comes through when I watch you work, which is.
Thanks.
How long were you out
you.
with your knee injury?
It was almost a year because I had a few like setbacks when I was rehabbing and like it just wasn't feeling right on certain things. So I didn't want to rush it. You know, I was just like, I'm not.
Did you do it in ring?
Yeah. When we were coming back out of the pandemic, it was going to be the first time in front of a crowd again. And I had I think it was an I Quit match with Bianca coming up. And it was weird. It was like it was mandatory in-ring training at the PC because they wanted us to be ready for the crowds, which is weird. But everybody was there. Jeff Hardy was there. Like I was gonna be there. But it ended up being really fun.
Wait. Are you serious?
Yes, we had two or 3 days of in-ring. Everybody had to come and train for the crowd, which like I don't.
Wait,
But I was working
crowd?
I was working there was no crowd.
Right, I'm saying the
Yeah, I
pandemic
know that's
crowd-
crazy, right?
The screen crowd? Remember how they did the...
Wait.
Well, we did that, yeah. But I don't know. They just wanted
When it
us
was just
crisp and
empty.
ready for it didn't get over
the
well.
Ben still in charge then?
Yeah.
Was it the Omen?
Yeah.
Bless his heart.
It was nuts, but everybody made it very fun. It was like
I guess.
we kind of have to
We had
like.
to.
Natty was putting us through drills, like Natty she's just telling us what to do. I was like, hell yeah, this is fun. So it ended up being really fun. But we were doing something. I forget who was in the ring with us, one of the producers, but we were chain wrestling, and I was in there with one of the girls, and it was literally like a front face lock, and I like went to get out of it, like. Reverse out of it, and at the same time she was like kind of cinching in on it, so like it just like it was just the wrong torque, and also with like her weight down, and it just it was gone. And I was like, no, this was literally the last day of the training, probably like the last hour, and we were literally just saying like nobody got hurt, it was great because that's what everybody was afraid of. Yeah, and then I so bummed, cried so much. I was so mad. So like then I think Carmella stepped in and took that match at the pay-per-view or something, but never got to finish my feud with Bianca at that point. So like when I did return, luckily they put me back in with her, but it was brutal.
Okay, speaking of took that match, and you're so much sweeter than I am. WrestleMania this year.
Oh God. Yeah.
I was hot.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if it was part of the storyline. I don't know anything.
Do you hear that deep sigh?
Yeah, maybe
I
it
have to
wasn't part
figure
of the
out how to-
storyline. But seriously, real talk, I was mad. I was like, because you work so hard, and I know you're the hardest worker there. I'm sure you're pitching storylines right and left.
Yeah.
I'm sure storylines have been gotten used for other people because that all that happens.
Yeah.
But you're at WrestleMania,
Oh, brutal.
and how many? What was it? 2 weeks before? How it was?
When they took me out?
Yeah,
It was the day before.
Day before.
Yeah.
I was gonna say 2 days before.
No, it was the day before. That was an interesting, and
That's very nice of you.
have to be
Interesting.
nice. Yeah, I do. It's a test. I feel like every time I get thrown stuff, it's like I'm just being tested, not by the company.
Nice
The
save.
universe and the world is trying to test me. It's
Nice
like,
save.
yeah. It was rough. It was like a little bittersweet. Like I became really close with Lyra, like in real life.
Yeah.
And so like I was super excited for her to have her first WrestleMania, but it was also just like, man, I was told this is where we were going, and then we like, okay, I'm going to be in this storyline in a tag team with this girl that I don't even know. Like I
Right.
remember first telling her like, this is what we're doing. Like, and I'm just talking about going to WrestleMania as a tag team. I'm like, don't you think that's kind of strange? Like you're the Intercontinental Champion and like, we don't even know each other. So like I felt weird about it, but throughout the time we had a few matches. I'm like, damn, we have good chemistry. Then we had this tag team gauntlet match to get to WrestleMania. We had like 5 matches in one night. It was like an hour of wrestling, and I was like, holy, like we're like a good team. Like I felt genuinely like connected with her, And like, she's one of the girls, grew up, loving wrestling and a huge fan. She's so good. And that had a lot to do with it. But like, then I was then when I was told that what was happening, I was like, oh, now I'm bummed. Like, for one, I'm not on WrestleMania, but for two, like, we put all this work in, and I really try to make us look like a team so that it's believable when we get to WrestleMania.
Right.
So it was rough, but it becoming part of a storyline and it becoming, what it is now made it a little bit nicer. And maybe I don't even know how to say it without like, I don't want to.
It's okay.
It was rough. It's definitely one of those times where I'm like I had a long conversation with Punk about it. A lot of people that were reaching out and just like, everybody's been in these positions.
Sure.
But I don't know. Hopefully.
Yeah, but it's hard when you see people that deserve the spot. It's hard to see it happen to people that the fans want in that spot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it just doesn't make sense.
That's in the moment. You think that, but I mean, all this, and I'm not trying to minimize that what you're feeling. It's just the nature of the beast. Sometimes it's not a fair. It's not a.
Yeah.
This is not a fair business at times. It can be the greatest, and then also it can just rip your heart out.
For sure. But it's also like, so I think my love and passion for this is what saves me in those moments.
Absolutely.
It's thank God I love this so much, because like, I don't know how people who don't love it go through with all this stuff. Like, how do you guys continue? How do you put your body through it? How do you do this travel?
Your
how
mind?
do you put up with, everything. So I'm like, you know what? I'm on John Cena's retirement tour, I'm like hanging out with these guys in the back. Like, I get to do these things and watch my friends, fulfill their dreams. Like watching Lyra do that and win the tag team championships and all that. That's beautiful. And the Rhea, Bianca, and Io having that match that weekend, like beautiful. And I do have those moments, but I feel like I need to have that piece of me that's like pissed about it, because
it fuels you.
I have so much more. I'm like, all right, I got a lot more work to do.
Yeah.
And I love that. I need to have that.
Yeah. I can relate to you in a sense. There's I beat Stone Cold for the world title.
Toot toot.
Yeah, 2-2.
Take that, Steve.
But I think it may have been 2, maybe 3 weeks later. We're doing TV, and Vince brings myself, Steve, Triple H, and Kane into a room, and he's pissed. He's like, "This isn't working." Now I think Kane, I don't remember what title Kane had. He had a title, or he was doing something. Triple H was the Intercontinental Champion. I was the World Champion, and Steve. And he goes, "Look, this isn't working. We're going to change things up." He says, "We're going to switch this title back to Steve tonight." And then I'm waiting, and I think, okay, well, what are they going to do with? I guess they're going to take the title off. Like, he was that upset. Well, basically, the only thing that was changing was the fact that I wasn't the one getting over as the champ. So we were going to switch
working
that.
with you as champion.
So, yeah, this is exactly what he was saying. But and so I'm trying to process that, right? Because that's a blow. That's obviously a blow to your ego.
Yeah, especially to be said in front of your peers too. It was
Exactly,
rough.
right? Like, it would have been one thing to pull me in the room and say, "Hey, look, this isn't what we thought it was going to be. We're going to put the belt back on Steve."
Yeah.
Okay, I'm a professional. I can handle that. But some of the guys that I respect most in the business are in here and listening to you, bitch about all this, and all the fingers are pointing at me.
Yeah.
Like, but I mean, it's the same kind of same kind of thing. Like, I left and I was like with my tail between my legs, and I was like, wow, my buddies and the guys that I work with just heard me, him pretty much blame me for,
What year was that?
I'm horrible with years, but I think it was, I got to figure, whenever I beat Steve, unfortunately.
I'm not good at that.
That pay-per-view
Don't ask
was
me.
Guys know those things.
the pay-per-view that we lost Owen, but I mean, it was shortly thereafter.
Yeah. So did it end up, like, when you look back at it, you're like, did it end up either fueling you or like end up in a better situation, or?
Well, it fueled me because and it's kind of part of the reasons when I did my Hall of Fame speech, when I said never be content.
Oh yeah.
Because I was like, again, I was like, okay, well, I just beat Stone Cold for the world title, And then reality 2 weeks later hits me like, well, you beat him, but you're obviously not in Vince's eyes or in their eyes. You're not drawing the way we expected it was going to go. So that was a blow, right?
Yeah.
And I had to put my ego on the shelf and figure out, okay, well, you're not obviously you're not as good as you thought you were.
Yeah.
Right. Of course, everything's when you hear that, everything's far worse than what it actually is. But the fact that he said that in front of my peers, and it was just like, okay,
Yeah.
right, now I got a big chip on my shoulder.
Yeah.
And it takes those things sometimes, especially when you think, well, man, I've achieved this, I've achieved that, I've done this, I've done that.
Yeah.
And then, okay.
It's hard to, I mean, I don't know where you were at that point. I mean, if you were winning the world title, then you obviously were, getting over and, having all these great matches. But like, it's hard to, maybe it's just the competitor in me or something, but like, I have, you read all these accolades, and I have been on WrestleMania a bunch of times. Luckily, like walked in as champion and out as champion. So like, I don't ever want to seem like I'm not happy. I just want more. Like, I just want to be able to do more. And Hunter like thanked me. Thank you for doing this. And I was like, of course, like this is my job. Like you guys tell me what you need from me. But then when I look at, aside from like the accolades where I'm at now, if I think back at like when I had pitched to turn heel, when I did turn heel, and they went with it. When I was coming back from injury, I pitched Damage Control, shot a whole video, and I picked the girls. It wasn't all the girls, but I picked Io and Dakota, and Hunter went with it. And now everything that's going on now, like they're accepting, they're what is it called? They're receptive.
Yes.
Receptive
Yeah.
To my ideas
Yeah.
and stuff. So like that's like a huge win to me.
That
It is a huge win.
actually.
So like I have to humble myself and be like, dude, like, not only are you being able to like accomplish all these crazy goals and dreams, but like these ideas that you're doing are like coming to life and on TV. So I do see like even being taken off of WrestleMania, like if I didn't, then I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now too. So I'm just super grateful for that, because some it happens all the time. We're like, maybe we got other ideas for you, and then you're just sitting in the back forever.
That's
like,
true. But even if it didn't happen, I feel like you still would be.
Yeah.
You still would be coming up and trying to evolve and do other things.
Yeah.
So
it's great.
I'm gonna
like,
stay hot for you.
Yeah.
What sucks too is like when you have great ideas and then they use them.
Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah.
On
But for
somebody
somebody
else.
else.
For
Oh,
sure.
that's
the
I've
worst.
seen that happen. We've had that happen.
It is the worst.
That is
That's not a good feeling.
Like you've written out week by week by
Yeah.
week, and all of a sudden you go, that
Yeah.
was supposed to be
damn, that's good. Not for you,
not for you,
Yeah.
but somebody else.
but
Hey.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you? I mean, you're obviously a long way from the end of your wrestling career, but do you think that's something that would interest you post wrestling, is being in the creative end of it or producing?
Because I
or-
know somebody in Mexico who might.
Well, don't.
Oh,
Just joking.
dude,
Sorry.
book me.
My bad. Y'all can edit that
Whoa,
out.
you
Ready.
stepped on
Oh.
it.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know, like creative wise, if I would be like in the writer's room or anything good like that, but maybe like producing, I would enjoy that. I tried like this Monday. I sat for the girls' match with the headset, just like I've done it a few times. I've produced stuff in NXT. It's very hard, and I don't know if I'd be a good producer right now. I see myself more as like a coach, or like if I were to open a school and coaching and stuff, it's very different than producing. But then when I think, okay, much longer I'm going to be wrestling, like there's still all the girls that I want to see
There's
them
so many,
them grow in their career. So like if like Roxanne, she's 23,
Yeah.
like, okay, if I could be a producer and be around and producing your match, that would be awesome. So
Yeah.
I have thought like, okay, maybe I should try to learn how to do that better, so I could be around and be a part of it and just wear another hat. But I don't know about like creative wise or in the writer's room. I think that sounds
I
scary.
don't know, man. You might do all right. But,
Maybe.
you speak Spanish?
Poquito? No, I
Poquito?
don't. No.
No Spanish?
You said
No, I
poquito,
don't.
no.
No, just
sure?
a little bit. My last name's Martinez, yeah, but no, I don't speak Spanish. Half Mexican.
Oh,
Sucks.
the
I should
internet
learn
lied.
it.
You should.
But do you need me? Yeah, if you need me in Mexico, I'll be there.
I know a guy down there.
Yeah.
And
Let me know.
Always looking
I
for-
know your Spanish is probably better than that guy's down there.
I got a mask. I had a mask made last time we were in Mexico City. You know what? A fun fact. This is our connection here. If we have if I can make one up. Marty Elias. You know Marty Elias. Ref your Mania match. Probably a bunch of others, but he's the one who got me my tryout, and that was the first question he asked me. He was at a show in LA. I was teaming with Candice LeRae, and after the match, he pulled me. I didn't know who he was. He pulled me aside and he said, "Hey, do you speak Spanish?" And I was like, "Poquito." I said, "No." And then we got into conversation. He said he wanted to send like my stuff out. He's like, "Send me some pictures and some matches." So I thought I was going to Mexico to wrestle. Like that's what I thought I was getting. And then I got a call from WWE for a tryout, and I was like,
Marty.
Marty Elias.
Huh, I did not know that.
Yeah, I'll see him in
Marty.
Nashville. I think he lives in Nashville. Like I'll see him when we're there for TVs.
Oh, that's cool. I had no idea.
You're such a big fan of wrestling. Did you never got a chance to go down to wrestle? And I mean, maybe for this company, but you never did.
No, so I started doing Shimmer. You know, Shimmer, like Shimmer. It was a all women's promotion, and I started it. Serena Deeb actually got me in contact with them there, and she helped me get in that.
Great.
She's so great.
She's great.
She's so sweet.
Yep.
So she got me that to get booked there, and they have they had all these sponsors and promoters and stuff from Japan because Dave Prazak would bring girls from all around the world. I was just about to go do a tour in Japan, so that he finally came up to me and was like, "Hey, I want to bring you out for 6 months, and would you do this and do this?" And I was like, I just got signed. Like I literally just did my tryout and just got signed. It was a little like bittersweet, but I wish I would have had that type of experience. I always wonder like what kind of wrestler I would be now, if I had done
it's never
that.
too late, Bayley.
To try new things.
Dude, if you want to book me in Mexico,
I'm just saying.
Just say
Just
it.
do it.
I'm just saying.
hey,
I'm
I'm
just
coming.
saying. Okay.
All right, just so you guys know. You heard it here first. Unless I've already done it by the time this comes out.
Oh, there you go. Look at that.
There you go.
Now I just booked myself.
Make it happen.
That's how you do it.
That's how you do it. That's
I'm
how
also
you
going to
get
be on
our book.
WrestleMania 42.
Yes.
Call your shot.
Vegas.
That's what you do. You
Yep.
call your
Main
shot.
event.
Yeah, main event WrestleMania in Las Vegas. You heard it here
Night
first.
1 or 2 or both.
Yeah, or both. Yeah.
So one thing that kind of surprised me, but that didn't really surprise me, we were watching the other night, and it's funny because Kai just turned 13. So, I mean, she hasn't seen all the wrestlers, but when AJ Lee came out,
Yeah.
we never really crossed paths. I mean, I was leaving, she was coming. Somebody I really wish I would have been able to
Yeah.
mix it up with. I know you're excited.
I was very excited.
And I was trying to explain to Kai like how cool she is and how, she's like, anyway, how excited were you?
Oh, so excited. It's one of those things where obviously as a fan, I'm not as young as like, I always bring up Roxanne, like where she literally grew up watching her and idolizing her. But I was lucky enough in NXT when AJ was the Divas champion. I got to work with AJ in a match. And I've told this story a million times, so I'm not going to say it like the whole thing. But there was another show where AJ, Biggie, and Dolph were on, and one of the guys had pulled me aside and AJ, and he was like, "Hey," like he just thought I didn't look presentable, like I didn't look like a diva, I didn't look like I just wasn't dressed right for the show or something, and he had asked AJ to talk to me, and so she was like, "I got it," like he was just like, I mean, look what she's wearing. Like, could you talk to her? Like, kind of down, like talking down. He doesn't work for the company anymore. Talking down on me. And she was like, and she seemed insulted. Like, I got it. And she was like, come on. And she pulled me into the locker room. She talked to me for like 45 minutes and was just the best. Like, just making me feel better and was like, look, be yourself. Basically, be yourself. And obviously be professional and meet them halfway.
Right.
Do what they ask. But don't ever lose yourself. I will always I feel like that changed everything. This was before the hugger character, before anything. It's like my first month there. And then we ended up having a match, which was awesome. We I felt like we had really good chemistry, but like once she retired, she wore my shirt in her retirement match, which I was like, what?
Yeah. What is
Well,
life?
we didn't even know that was your retirement match. Then she ended up retiring that week, and I was just like so confused. But throughout the years that she's been gone, we've kept in touch. We would meet up for coffee like whenever we can. So like I've seen her throughout the years in Punk too. So like we've maintained that friendship. So her coming back was like obviously huge for the industry, but I was just excited
Personally.
for my friend to like come back,
Aww.
and now being close with Punk as he's been there is just like like I needed to be there, you know, like I had to,
That's
I was like,
special.
I'm going to be there, you know,
that's
for
special.
her. And like, yeah, now talking to the girls in the locker room and their excitement is just wild. So I made sure, like I talked to her, like, I just want you to know the locker room is incredible. Like we are all such close friends and like everybody has each other's backs and like 75% of these girls wouldn't be here if it wasn't because they looked up to you.
Yeah.
But because you made us seem acceptable in
Right.
this business, you
That's
know?
true. So true.
Yeah. So I hope I just want you to be happy while you're here.
Aw.
But like, it's what we were saying, we were talking to her the other day. I'm like, the fact that you want to come back here, like says a lot about what we've been doing these last few years, because you wouldn't come back if the division didn't seem stacked or competitive or passionate about
Yep.
or like we're going places, you know, or main eventing WrestleManias. Like I think I want to give the girls the credit too, is like, you want to come back. Like, of course we want
sure.
you here, but also you wanting to come here just shows that the division is doing something right. Same with Nikki Bella, like having Nikki there and
Yep.
being able, she just wrestled Asuka, like
Yep.
she wrestled Becky. For her to be able to get in the ring with a whole new generation, it's just nuts to see. Like, when would you ever hear
It is
that?
wild when you see so many generations, Trish and Tiffany and like you said,
Yeah.
Nicole and Asuka, and it's wild. I'm
Yeah.
like, dang, like it's really like there's kind of no ceiling now when
yeah,
there
there's
used
no
to be
ceiling.
such a ceiling.
Yeah.
It's just like, I mean, it's just like the men now.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know, men would come back from different eras, and it's just I mean, that's just a testament to what
Yeah.
y'all have achieved,
Yeah.
and how far y'all have brought this division that you can do that.
Yeah,
So,
it's
Yeah, I
so
love
true.
that.
Like how, and I used to be jealous of the guys. I'm like, oh man, you guys get to work with like Taker or Ray or Randy Orton or all these guys, you know. And we're like, we don't have anybody. Like I got to work with Trish and Lita. Luckily, you know,
Yeah.
I've had that. But it's like now we have these girls coming out, and as everybody starts coming in,
With their
there's
babies on the road.
opportunity. Yeah, I know.
I'm like there's
Yeah.
there's literally no ceiling.
I'm telling you.
Take
Yeah.
the babies on
You
the
can
road.
have a baby and come back. Like Naomi will be back. You know,
There should be a whole Nepo division.
look at that jacked arm.
Woo, woo. I just need the coattail to be a little bit longer to get me to whatever town the show is in, sir.
Can you make Guadalajara?
Guadalajara. I don't know about Guadalajara.
You know how to speak Spanish, Michelle?
Poquito.
That was it.
That's it. That's all I got. Well, thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, that was wild. I mean, it's even wild seeing like AJ come out with the Intercontinental Championship, something that didn't
No,
exist. You know,
not
seeing
even
her
a
hold
thought.
it in her hands,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
So anything's possible in this magical world.
It is true.
Of
I just really want
WWE.
to know what she does and what R-Truth does and why they look the exact same because I'm going to need,
Yeah. How do you guys do it?
how do y'all do it?
How do y'all
tell.
do it?
Share the secrets. Spill the
Yeah.
tea.
Thanks for spending some time with us today.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're okay in my book.
Thanks.
I don't care what McCool says.
Wow.
You're
You can
okay.
tell me later.
Oh yeah.
No, don't.
He's just
I don't
a
wanna fight.
liar.
Hey, you come back and see us anytime, and
Appreciate
brush up on that Spanish.
Okay, I will.
By the
I'm
way,
just
I mean,
putting it out there.
I
yeah.
will.
I mean, you're right here now. You're a Texan, fellow
I know.
Texan.
We're gonna have
fellow
a
Texan.
we'll
As
have
soon as
a
that
ring
ring
up
gets
soon.
put up, yep.
Once you get that up, let me know.
Look, I want to keep,
Me and Kaya get in there.
and me, can I
Yeah,
play?
yeah,
Can I
yeah,
play?
of course.
Okay.
Yeah,
That would be awesome.
yeah.
I mean, I was so excited when y'all, sorry, I know we're supposed to wrap, but when y'all, the tag titles, y'all were the first. Did you mention that? Was that on there?
I
The
didn't mention
accolades?
that they
Because
were
y'all
the first. I
ever.
didn't mention
First ever.
I was so excited when they finally got tag title belts
Dude,
for the
yeah.
women's
Yeah,
division.
you guys would have loved that.
Oh,
Oh, we struggled to get those. We
Oh, I'm
fought
sure.
every
Really?
week. We had like we would walk in there with a page of like this is all your tag teams. This is all the stories we could do. We didn't even care about winning them. We just
Exactly,
wanted
just
like,
have something to fight for. Yep.
us, something for us to fight for.
Yep.
Yeah.
that's what people don't understand.
Yeah.
When they always talk about the ugly butterfly belt, I'm like, I don't care if it looked like a Tootsie Roll. Like it was
Yeah.
something to fight for.
Yeah.
But I was excited when you got the tag. Yeah.
Now we got.
And I mean, you
now we
mentioned
got all
Liv at the
kinds of 'em.
beginning, and Liv did reach out, before WrestleMania. So if maybe Liv's in need of a partner, maybe you don't need. I'm just saying, like, I can go one time.
One time, like one
One
story.
time.
You mean
No,
one story,
That-
one
but
run.
One
It's super-
run.
it's super
One
fun.
run.
One run.
I
Yeah.
love watching all the odd connections and all the.
And
it's
I've
fun.
seen like some of the girls they bring their kids with them.
I know.
Yeah.
He's like, you go and the kids.
Yeah.
You take the kids with you.
We'll get you a bus.
I can do it. Yeah,
Dude.
like look.
Right? That sounds right, Craig? That's fair.
Yeah, Craig's gonna get. You're gonna get me a bus too. You're gonna.
Yeah.
I'm getting
You're
a
on
bus
the bus.
too. You heard it here first.
Yep.
Thanks, Craig. Thanks, Fanatics.
Yep. Thanks, fanatics and fanatics on the spot. I love it. Why?
Well, again, thanks for being here. I've thoroughly enjoyed this. I told you
Yes.
she'd be a great guest.
Wow. Why do you keep looking at me like you're trying to get her to believe I've said anything bad? I don't think
being here,
anybody's ever said any bad word about
I don't think so
Bailey,
either.
which is
I think we
pretty
tried to do
impressive.
this like a month or whenever I was
Yeah.
driving down from Cali, but I was like,
Oh,
damn it, I hope they remember.
That's a
Like,
You
I
were
really want to
bigwigging
do
us
this.
then. Yeah, you
Yeah.
were big,
Yeah,
You
yeah.
didn't have time for us then.
Right? Yeah, I should have drove faster. But you see my beautiful Jeep out there. You know, I made it safe.
And
But
Kaya's
thank
going to
you
be
guys.
mad. She asked us to go pick her up early from school.
Hey, could you pick our
no.
kid up from school today?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, by the way.
That'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
Just let me know. Yeah.
She might actually be speechless. No, she
I'll
probably
turn it
Oh,
out.
no, she would not be
No,
I'll
speechless.
she
pull up
wouldn't be
with some
speechless.
Undertaker music, just
good
blast
Lord.
it.
The thing is, we
Get
can't
in the
embarrass that
car.
child. We can't. We try.
You
to
can't what?
Embarrass her.
Oh, you can't embarrass her.
No, it's not even
That's
fun.
pretty cool.
Like we try to embarrass her.
Yeah. I'm going to have to up my game.
You are.
Yeah.
Yep.
I got it.
Well, thank you.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so
Appreciate
much.
it.
Yes. Peace.
We out.